Water, a vital resource that everyone needs, but many take for granted. With over 21,000 residents and 54 miles off shoreline, the town of Wareham is a small seaside community near Boston that is known for its continual water edges, hard-working residents, and genuine desire to making things better. It is also an area rich in natural habitat and beauty, with a diverse population and an intimate connection to a bustling cranberry industry. With drinking water supplied by one of the most productive and pristine underground aquifers in the state, the commitment of maintaining a superior water quality for this region is paramount. Join me, Queen Vanda, as I take an in-depth look into the valuable services the Wareham Fire District Water Department provides, get answers to those water questions frequently on the minds of residents, and offer you helpful tips on how to make smarter water conservation choices in your everyday lives. I am standing outside the Wareham Fire District Water Department building on Cranberry Highway, home of 13 dedicated employees, all working together to do one thing: to serve the public the best potable water at the most reasonable cost, which the department have been doing since 1907. Let's go inside and meet some of the people that make all this happen. Hello, I am Queen from WCTV.
Hi, Queen. Welcome to Wareham Water. Come on inside.
Thank you all for taking your time to sit with me and to talk about the value of water. It is so important for residents in Wareham to know what it takes to protect and conserve this precious resource. Perhaps you could all share with me a little bit about your connection with the water department and how long you've been working in Wareham.
Hi, I'm Jay Tamagini. I'm one of the water commissioners. We have a board of 3. I've been on the board approximately 18 years, and I'm a resident of this town. I have been, was born in Toby Hospital.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Ryan. I'm a project manager and a hydrogeologist with Kleinfelder. Kleinfelder is the engineering consultant to Wareham Fire District, and we've been working together for over 40 years, and myself personally have been working with the water department for 16 years.
Hi, I'm Andy Reed. I'm the water superintendent. I've been here for just under a year. Excited to be here and continue the tradition. I was a consultant for about 20 years before coming here.
Wonderful. Jay, as the water commissioner, you are very familiar with the department details. What are some things that the residents might not know about Wareham Water Department?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I think, is the protection of the resource. We've purchased 350 acres or so of upland and watershed to protect the aquifer, protect our wells. We also do extensive testing throughout the year. I believe over the last 10 years we've met both the lead and the copper requirements for the state. And the residents of the town enjoy a rather low water rate at this point. We're in the 70% of the state of Massachusetts pays more for water on an annual basis than we do. We're in the process of developing with Kleinfelder a new water treatment plant that's going to treat approximately 3 million gallons a day. That should be online or under construction in 2018.
Wonderful. You know, people often get confused by the Wareham Fire District Water Department not being a typical government entity. What is its actual role within Wareham? Can you help clarify that for us, please?
Sure. The district is actually separate government from the town. Back in the turn of the century, the town experienced several fires, major fires downtown, and the residents and business people at the time elected to put forth in the legislature a water district for fire protection, and that passed in 1907, and since then the district's grown to provide drinking water service.
I would also add on to that that it's not that uncommon for communities to have a separate district from the town. There's a lot of them on Cape Cod and throughout Massachusetts. So it's just important for people to understand the difference between the district and the town, because they both have an annual town meeting with, you know, votes and voters need to participate.
Wonderful. I understand that you recently launched a new Wareham Water Protect and Conserve Water campaign along with a new Facebook page. Is there a new reason for this renewed focus on the value of water?
Yeah, we're just trying to reach out to the public and make the district look more approachable and reachable to the public, because ultimately the district is belonged by the residents. And we just want to reach out to people, try to understand what they've been experiencing, and get feedback from them how to make our services better. And that's why we started the Facebook page, which you can find on Wareham Water. If you want to know what's going on in the district, like us on that page, and also stop by. We'll have surveys and some freebies to give out.
To continue our discussion and add on to the Water Department's efforts to connect with local residents, we have decided to hit the streets of Wareham to find out just what questions people want to know about their local water supply.
Where does Wareham water come from, and is this water supply protected?
That's a very important question. We take the protection of our water sources very seriously. I'm standing here in front of the Maple Springs stream. This area is one of our major well fields. We spend a lot of time and effort to protect this area. Over the last few years, we've gotten several $100,000 of Mass DEP grant money, as well as much of our own funds to monitor and just protect the water source. We also work very closely with our agricultural partners in the area to make sure that the water remains safe.
My water sometimes smells funny and it looks brown. Is it safe for me to wash my clothes and drink it?
That's an excellent question, and we often get that question by the public. The short answer is that the water is safe. We're standing here at the Maple Springs Corrosion Control Facility, and what we do is we add chlorine here for disinfection, as well as lime to raise the pH to keep your pipes from corroding. And we basically monitor the system on a 24-hour basis to make sure that the water is safe for you to consume.
And yeah, I would just also want people to know that one of the reasons for the occasional brown discoloration of the water is naturally occurring minerals. Iron and manganese are present naturally in the aquifer that supplies the wells. And over time, those levels can increase, and they have been increasing in some of the older wells. So, you know, the district is doing things in the short term, and then we're also working on a long-term solution.
So if you have a water event, just give the district a call. We'll come out and we'll investigate and see if we can clear up the event. In the meantime, you should like us on Wareham Water if you can. Our group name is Wareham Water, and we'll keep you posted on our flushing and any events that may affect you on a daily basis.
Is there anything I can do to help save more water during the summertime?
That's another good question. The district has been implementing a Protect and Conserve water campaign. The reason for that is the aquifer has less water during the summer months. It also happens to be the same period that we have the most population and the most water demand. So what happens is we get peak demands in the summer. What we ask customers to do is follow a few simple steps. The first step is our odd, even watering. So if you have an irrigation system, try to water every other day so that you do not have a demand on the system. Our water conservation kits, and what's in those kits contain several devices which control flow that come out of your tap. Of particular, what I'd highlight is your shower head, as often that's a big water consumer, as well as your faucet aerator. That's the little device at the very end of your faucet which adds air to your water when you take water out of your tap. It also controls the water. A third device that we have is a little bubble, if you will, that essentially goes into your toilet tank and controls the amount of water that is flushed every time you use the toilet. We encourage you to come by. They're free. You can pick one up down at the district whenever you like.
Where does the money I spend towards my water actually go?
That's a great question. We're here in East Wareham at our newest tank. This is a Glen Charlie tank. As a commissioner, and as the Water Commission feels, we try to get the most value for our dollar that we can. We also have 170 miles of pipeline underground distributing water throughout the town for fire protection and drinking water. About 580 million gallons are pumped annually for drinking water and fire protection. And yet the residents still are in the lower 30 percentile of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for water rates. If anybody has any more questions, don't hesitate to give us a call. The office number is 508-295-0450.
What is the Water District doing to improve our water quality long term?
So that's an excellent question. We're standing here at the Maple Springs Corrosion Control Facility. We built this facility in 1995, and we treat all the water from the Maple Springs well field. The reason why we treat it is because the well field has acidic water, so we add some lime to raise the pH to neutral, and we also add some chlorine to disinfect the water. Kirsten is going to talk a little bit more about the aquifer and where that water comes from.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, so the aquifer that supplies the wells here is very productive. It's an excellent aquifer. However, the same thing that makes it so high yielding also lends it to being high in natural minerals like iron and manganese. And those minerals can increase over time, which is what's happening at some of the older wells here. And that can cause some occasional discoloration in the water. And Wareham has been putting in some shorter term solutions to address that and make it less noticeable, but it can still be a problem. So some longer term solutions are underway.
That's right. And in the short term, what the district has been actively doing is we try to use the wells that have the less amount of minerals in them. We also add chemicals so that those metals don't come out of solution, so you don't get brown water.
And for the longer term solution, Kleinfelder is currently working with Wareham Water, designing a more sophisticated water treatment or purification plant that's going to be able to remove those minerals. That is really the only long-term solution to actually physically filter them out of the water supply. So here you can see is a early schematic plan of some of the preliminary design we're working on right now. And we're evaluating a number of technologies. We also are looking at ways to help improve the taste of the water, potentially ways to reduce chlorine and that chlorine taste. We're also looking at some state-of-the-art technologies that might be able to address potential future contaminants in the event that other contaminants show up in the water supply. We're also looking at renewable energy technologies. We're looking at wind and solar because, you know, the cost of a plant can be significant and we want to be able to reduce the energy use of the plant. The district actually has a solar field right up the road, and the plant, the future plant here, might be able to tie into that and reduce operating costs.
So now that you have had a chance to hear from the residents, what's up next for the Wareham Protect and Conserve water campaign?
Well, that's a great question. We are actually this summer reaching out to the high school students through the summer program, and we'll have an educational program to let the kids understand what the water system is all about. Mm-hmm. And from there, we just want people to understand that the water itself is a resource that we want to conserve. So we have conservation kits that measure how much water that comes out of your faucet, as well as aerators that conserve more water. And really, we're just, again, trying to reach out, and people can like us on Facebook, tell us what they're experiencing, what they feel, and we try to address those things as soon as possible.
Based on your professional experience, what makes Wareham so unique in terms of natural water supply?
Well, as a hydrogeologist, I would say it's very unique because we talked about the very productive underground aquifer that supplies the wells. It's the second largest sole source aquifer in the state. We talked about the watershed land that the water department's purchased over the years. And also, a lot of it happens to be covered with forest, state forest. So it's very unique, and I would say that people can help protect it themselves by, trying to be careful about pouring any chemicals on the ground and just protecting their water supply.
How about your proudest moment in Wareham Water Department history?
Well, I think the proudest moment would be the acquisition of all that land that we've been able to acquire over the course of time. And in the process of doing that, we were able to create a The latest well that we have in production is well number 8 up in Seawood Springs. And when I came on this board, we were told by our attorney that we would never pump a gallon of water out of that well. I believe that well will do around 1,000 gallons a minute right now. And I guess I'd have to say that's probably the proudest moment.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you all for taking your time for being here today. It was great to hear about Wareham Water. To learn more about Wareham Water, stay informed about any important local events, and find out how to receive your free water conservation kit, you may visit www.warehamfiredistrict.org, call 508-295-0450. Like us on Facebook at Wareham Water. In the future, populations may rise. Climate change impact could lead to unpredictable weather patterns, and water infrastructure will continue to age. With changes to these elements, new demands will be placed on existing systems. Just what are your local water supply officials doing to protect the residents of Wareham? And how are they helping to enlarge the conservation of this valuable resource for future generations? I would like to encourage all of you to learn more about your local water department. Stay informed about important events and do your part to help conserve water in your everyday lives. The value of water. Now that is something that we could all raise a glass to. From WCTV, I am Queen Banda. Thank you very much for watching.